Welcome to the PokerHeaven.com Fast and Furious Challenge. This is Heat 4, and we have an eager quartet of players hoping to claim the last berth in our grand final. In Seat 1, poker professional Richard Herbert, a regular money winner on the circuit this year, as well as a dominant force on the internet. Next to him in Seat 2 is Paul Sandals, the web designer from Leicestershire, will be hoping to play like a tiger and fox his opponents. In 3, it's Ian Hope, a former city trader. He knows how to make money and how to take risks. Finally, in Seat 4, we have Jules Adamson. This 20-year-old was studying at Bristol University, but found that he was more interested in playing cards than sticking his nose in a book. Roy the Boy, Richard Herbert, he's known as an aggressive player. Is he going to eat these guys alive?
Well, he certainly has an impressive CV, of that there is no doubt, and he is a big winner. But at the end of the day, 97.4% of all statistics are made up, and we know with the Fast and Furious format that anyone can win, and essentially this guy would be a potent force, but it's no done deal.
Tonight we're playing No Limit Texas Hold'em. Each player starts by being dealt 2 hole cards which only they can see, after which there's a round of betting. As the game progresses, 5 more cards will be dealt into the middle of the bays, which every player can use in combination with their hole cards to make the best possible poker hand. But of course, the rounds of betting are crucial. Put enough chips in the middle and you can scare off your opponents, no matter how good or bad your cards are. The rules of the Fast and Furious Challenge are simple. There are 4 players at the table. Each player has a maximum of 30 seconds to act, or their hand will be declared dead by the tournament director. The winner of each heat will progress to the final table. Here's a reminder of the team standings so far. With 5 points for a win, 3 for second place, 1 for third, and a big fat 0 for coming fourth, it is Team Poker Heaven who are out in the lead. A win here will see them home and hosed, but one thing's for sure, their rival teams will be pushing them all the way. 30 seconds, that is all our players are allowed to make their decisions. And the blinds at 50 and 100 to start with a starting stack of 6,000 chips. There's plenty of room for manoeuvre. And Ian Hope, well, he's certainly found some cards he can manoeuvre with.
300.
Raise to 300 total. Pass. Pass.
Well, that's Panormal. The button starts in Seat 4. Big blind. Full Sandals, none to the gun.
That's it, innit?
One bet, one win. Ian Hope.
What'd you have?
Pair twos. I even passed an ace for you there, mate.
Fire.
I did actually.
You could have passed an ace.
Well, you got rich, but I can.
That's an ace.
Yeah.
Who are you kidding?
This is the PokerHeaven.com Fast and Furious Challenge. And it really is a fast format, isn't it, Roy the Boy? Those blinds move around the table very quickly with only 4 players. You have to get involved.
You do too, and Jules is getting involved with an ace-10.
300 total.
Interesting, he's wearing a sweatband around his wrist. I'm not certain what that is for.
My under the gun.
Pass.
Richard giving him respect, but Paul Sandals will want to have a look with his suited royal family.
Pass.
Ian Hope, well, a lot of internet players like to play the Jack-10. He has more sense.
Well, it's cheap enough at the moment.
Let's see whether the flop will bring Jacks and 10s and disappoint him. Well, nothing there. So it is the ace of Jules Adamson that is still in front. And it looks like he's going to have a little continuation bet, Roy.
Oh, I like that. And he does it immediately. I'm the guy that raised pre-flop. I'm the guy that's got a genuine hand. So I have to bet this. Should I say, I'm the guy that is supposed to have a genuine hand. It's only ace high, but it's good, and he takes it down.
Well, he's young, but he's certainly not intimidated, is he, Roy?
Yeah, unlike you, mate, I don't show hands. I've got quite a few older brothers, and when I was a kid, I used to watch them play poker. My brother-in-law plays quite a lot, so I used to watch him online. And you know, when I got internet at uni, it seemed like the perfect thing to do, really. So I got straight involved. I'm probably going to start off early on, just trying to find out what the other players are like, and then start getting involved in a lot of pots. Try and take down smaller pots rather than getting involved in big ones. Just trying to build up my stack, you know, as time goes by, and hopefully get the win for the team. I've played Richard Herbert a lot before. He's an aggressive player, and he'll try and dominate early on. So hopefully I'll stop that and get involved and try and win it.
The cards coming out of the machine in the table. There's not a little person under there shuffling them. I promise you it is some sort of robot.
Well, I've always suspected Mandy actually shuffles with her toes.
Very skillful dealer. Let's see what Jules Adamson wants to do with his cards. Well,
Pass.
he is sending them away. Now a
300
suited
total.
big slick for Richard Herbert.
That hand is a 330 to 1 shot.
Call.
Quite bizarre,
Pass.
because a pair of aces pre-flop is only 220 to 1.
Well-
Strange but true, and I thought you needed to know.
Excellent statistics there, Roy.
Means
And
nothing.
we are going to see 3 cards. Will there be a king or a queen in them? There will not, but there are 2 spades, giving Richard Herbert a nut flush draw.
Simply monstrous flop for him. Stats say it all, 94%. Let's not forget he's already winning, but essentially, if he was taking on an opponent
Check.
with a pair of jacks or the like, he would have so many outs.
600.
Any spade, any ace, any king. Is Paul Sandals
it
going to
looks
step
as
out of
though-
line and get himself in trouble here?
Well,
Raised
Roy,
to 18.
he's bumped it
12
up.
call. Pass.
And that is excellent aggression.
Well, that's just... To me, listen, God, this is fast and furious, okay? But we know this is going to last 60 hands. When you pick up an ace-king suited and you find 2 spades on the flop to go with the 2 spades in your hand, this is an automatic shove it in.
The button in front of Jules Adamson. He left university. I imagine they weren't too keen on him playing poker all the time instead of going to lectures.
Pass.
He looks like a young Swedish
Raised
player, doesn't he, with his
300 total.
his blonde hair and his sweatband.
Call.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of sweating going on at the
Pass.
poker table usually.
Let's go.
But it might happen now because we have 2 pretty similar hands up against each other.
Okay, check on the blind.
10 Jack against Jack Queen. And immediately
Check,
a
check.
up and down straight draw for Richard Herbert and top pair for Jules Adamson.
Well, Richard Herbert announced check
Check.
blind.
Well, it's now trip Queens.
300.
Trick
Raised
Queens
to
versus a
1,000.
draw. And Richard Herbert has raised with his draw.
I'm just seeing where you're at.
You mentioned it's cool.
No, I don't
Fold. Cool.
I'm not having you sucking out.
Call.
He calls, and Richard will be the
Sucking
one
out.
who would be
Probably
sucking
the one
out. He
sucking out,
needs
yeah.
an 8 or a king to make his straight.
I
The
need
jack
to-
could do him some damage.
There we go. Bingo.
It's a full
Give it
house for Jules. And Richard
1500.
Herbert, with a jack high, has come out firing.
You miracle 9 there.
I might not need you the miracle now.
Really? Yeah.
Richard Herbert
Raise.
looks
Raise.
the picture of confidence, but his face will now be falling.
Well, Jules must be as excited as a windsock in a storm.
2,500
And he's containing it really well.
Yeah. Show then.
Have some of that.
Shows your queen.
I haven't got a queen.
2 queens.
I've got a 5. Is that good enough?
Well in front.
Yeah, alright. So I thought,
It's too good for me. You must have had the queen.
You are giving the opportunity.
If we look at our leaderboard, Roy, we see that the youngster, Jules Adamson, only 20 years old, well, he has got over 9,000 chips, and the man we tipped to be the aggressor from the start, Richard Herbert, he's in a bit of trouble here. The button is in front of our youngster, Jules Adamson, but playing like a veteran, and it's going to be this man, Ian Hope, to act first, and doesn't get much prettier than that, Roy.
Raise to 300 total.
He's
Pass.
sensibly made a standard raise here,
Pass.
but
What?
he's been very
Pass.
unfortunate not to find any player with a hand to take him on.
What a shame. That's all. Just winning the blinds with aces almost feels like losing, doesn't it?
Well, he doesn't look too dismayed, but I think I'll be quite vexed. Let's see my aces not get paid.
2 to play.
Time already ticking away. The blinds now up to 100 and 200, so those pots increasingly worth winning and having a fly at.
6 total.
All these players are using their button very well here. They're raising up in position right on cue. And the blinds 100, 200. The standard raise
All
will be
in.
6.
But Jules Adamson will worry about his raise now because it was a bluff with the 6-2,
okay, count that.
and he's run into a medium ace in front of Richard Herbert.
So this is going to be a position raise that's gone wrong.
These two have got a bit of friendly needle between them already.
21.
21 on top.
More. 21 more. 10 seconds. Pass.
And Richard Herbert proves there's
Value
life in
like
him.
that in pass.
Nah, I needed better value for those guys.
After two very bad plays by Richard Herbert,
Right,
he's
next time
now
you
doing
raise
what
my
he
big
has to
blind,
do.
I'll go all in.
Like a lot of people, logged on to place a bet, noticed the poker, logged on it, and did my NIAGs in for the next 3 or 4 months. Then decided to learn it. And learn it I did, and finally got my money back. And then I kept playing, and here we are. My strategy is get my chips in as far behind as I can and pray. Four-handed, quick structure, a lot of luck, and I'm not lucky.
2 to play.
Still 4 players at the PokerHeaven.com Fast and Furious Challenge. And we are witnessing some very cagey play. They are sizing each other up, waiting for big hands. And here is a big hand.
Race to 6.
6 total.
What a
Four more.
shame.
It could just look like an attempt to pick up the big blind. It could look like a steal. Will Jules step out of line and do something a bit outrageous here? If he does, it's the wrong time.
Cool.
He has called.
Another hand over mouth job.
2, 3, queen. Check or bet.
Well, there's a gut shot draw there for our young
1,000.
student. But will he want to chase A5?
Would he want to make a move? Would he consider his opponent's just got an ace? Another 5, a 4, or a 6 would all be good.
Cool.
I think that's what he's thinking. It's very brave.
Will he get rewarded?
Queen. Check or bet.
Well, his call could be interpreted as having a queen. And if he pumps it over the top here, Ian
1,000.
Hope could get into trouble.
Well, Ian Hope doesn't consider that young Adamson has a queen. The only way Jules can realistically take this pot down now is by a big bet, a big raise.
Cool.
Bizarre.
A flat call.
Now he's going to have to bluff at this if he misses.
7.
And he has.
Check or bet.
Well, is he
The
gonna,
great thing is, you know, Crub, Ian Hope thinks he's bluffing.
Morning.
All in.
well, that should
21.
finish this.
That's a fantastic bet. You can't raise that one, Sunshine.
And you can't call it with 6 high either.
Job done, and that is certainly a sign of inexperience, and the first time we've seen Jules Adamson do something a bit foolish.
Pass.
Yes. It was the flat calling that got him into trouble, wasn't it? If he'd raised, he might have won it.
Well, he's chasing a miracle draw. If he put his opponent on an ace, well,
I was hoping you'd check on the river.
Funny, isn't it?